The term video game has evolved over the decades from a purely technical definition to a general concept defining a new class of interactive entertainment. Technically, for a product to be a video game, there must be a video signal transmitted to a cathode ray tube, CRT, that creates a rasterized image on a screen. This definition precluded early computer games that outputted results to a printer or a teletype rather than a display. Any game rendered on a vector scan monitor, any game played on a modern high-definition display, and most handheld game systems. From a technical standpoint, these were more properly called electronic games or computer games. Today, however, the term video game has completely shed its purely technical definition and encompasses a wider range of technology. While still rather ill-defined, the term video game now generally encompasses any game played on hardware built with electronic logic circuits that incorporates an element of an interactivity and outputs the results of the player's actions to a display. Going by this broader definition, the first video games appeared in the early 1950s and were tied largely to research projects at universities and large corporations. Now, this is going to be a really, really interesting episode because I didn't understand half of that shit that I just said. But I do know I love me some video games. So take a dive with us as we jump into the origins of video games today on Dipping Milk in Cookies.
Welcome to Dipping Milk in Cookies with your hosts Garrett Cookie Smith and Michael Milkman Segovia.
Alrighty, welcome to another riveting, exciting episode of Dipping Milk and Cookies, guys. I am Garrett, the Cookie Commander Smith. With me, as always, Michael, Master Motherfucking Milker Segovia. What up, Playboy?
Shit, man, how you doing?
I'm alright. You know, I'm alright. That's that's all I can really be said at this point. You know, I'm just living, kind of enjoying the isolation, I suppose, but it's getting a little old, but what can you do? But I'm all right. How are you doing?
Dude, yeah, same. Just dealing with the day in, day out of the quarantine life.
Doing
the homeschooling thing.
How's that going?
It's not that bad. Like, I don't know how a lot of the other schools have their stuff set up, but Zakai, he's in 7th grade. He gets an iPad, and they do all their stuff through Google Classroom. And then my daughter, she's in kindergarten, and they had like a homework pickup thing where you just came and you picked up like all the stuff they were going to do for the next 3 weeks. And for her, it's just a lot of coloring and writing the numbers and letters and stuff like that, you know?
So it's more so aimed at Kaya.
Yeah.
With, like the actual like hands-on and stuff.
And he had a lot of fucking missing assignments, like a lot. He just would not do his homework. We just get straight emails just like, your kid just does not do homework. Like,
and that was when they were still going to school.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that shit has changed now.
Oh yeah, dude. The first day I was like, show me what's missing. And he's just like, really? I'm like, yup, I want to see what's missing. So he goes into the section that just says missing assignments. And at first it shows you just the 3, but you have to tap it, and then it just like
all the subsections. Yeah.
And then he just like scrolled for a few moments.
Oh
and he's just like,
dude.
But this is like all Spanish though, Dad. Like, I promise you. I was like, that doesn't matter, dude. It's still a shit ton.
It's still missing.
So he is this is going to be the start of week 2,
I think. No,
should be
so
week since
3.
May 15th or March 15th or 16th is when they've both been homeschooled.
So it's been a week and a half.
Yeah. So
no, it's been 2 weeks. Sorry, 2 weeks.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Today's the
28th. Yeah.
So this will be the week starting of week 3 then now. and now I guess he's got all of his stuff. He showed me he has nothing missing,
Good.
nothing due. He's
Good
got
man.
everything done.
Good man.
I mean, it came at a price for him though. I mean, he got a couple body blows, you know. And
A couple of those accidental hits.
Fucking-
Oh, you shouldn't have been standing there, guy.
let him know, man. CPS ain't coming to save you.
Right.
Neither the cops. They got more to worry about. So guess what? You're getting caught up on your schoolwork. You're gonna catch some of these hands.
Oh,
and-
dude, I've been thoroughly enjoying those fucking memes you've been posting to his page, dude. Oh my god, that CPS one made me laugh so fucking hard. But it's like, hey man, for real, click clack. You
but
better
I
get
mean,
it together, dude. Because guess what? Your teachers aren't gonna save you now. Like
Yeah,
it's me.
so I
I'm
told
your
him-
teacher, dude.
Yep,
So
I'm the principal. Detention is gonna be Knuckles, not fucking sitting in the
Right,
classroom for a half
exactly.
hour.
You want lunch? Here's a knuckle sandwich for you.
Yep.
That's really funny.
But yeah, no, he's got his shit all caught up and current. I mean, I'm happy about that. It sucked that it had to come to like a quarantine for me to be able to get him to do that. But a lot of his stuff is on the iPad, and if he doesn't do it in class, he can't bring the iPad home, so
Yeah.
then he falls behind because he's
Yeah.
doing today's stuff, you know. So now we got it caught up though, which is good.
No more porn on the tablet.
No, I told him, I was like, dude, you have a fucking phone now, so like stay the fuck off the tablets, iPads, off the fucking TV. Just like don't even try to search on anything but your fucking phone. Like if I find a trace of porn history on anything, I swear to God. And he was just like, Dad, I promise. I was like, all right. Fucking
I swear to God, dude, I swear to fucking
dude, I will
God.
fucking
If we have this conversation again, dude, it's not gonna be good for you.
but
Sorry.
that's all been stopped
yeah.
too.
Yeah, oh
But,
yeah, good.
Yeah, all that shit. Jaylene's teacher sent an email to us, just kind of like checking in, seeing how everything's going, how everybody's adjusting, and I was just honest with her too. I was like, I'm not a teacher, and the way that this is set up right now, like we can either get everything done for the week in one day and just submit it all one day, or we'll just get it all done in one day and just submit the minimum over the week for her attendance, because that's how they do the attendance. So I was just kind of like, well, I lost my hours. I don't get to work as much because I don't have a babysitter now. So like this is really kind of crazy. And I was like, my son's asked to start being homeschooled like permanently, like, and so is Zakiah wanting to be homeschooled now permanently. I know Jaylene's gonna want to as well, because she's not gonna want to go to school if her brother doesn't have to go to school.
Yeah,
It's
that
just
makes sense. That makes sense.
Fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, but yeah, I could definitely see the schooling thing again, really being an issue when we finally get out of this craziness. But obviously, we are not here to talk about that right now. We are here to talk about some video games. So let's jump into it. Let me get to my notes here. The history of video games. Mike, why don't you lead us off there, good buddy?
All right, so the history of video games goes as far back as the early 1950s, when academic computer scientists began designing simple games and simulations as part of their research or just for fun.
Oh, and you better believe they were smoking weed.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry,
Yeah,
keep going.
At MIT in the 1960s, professors and students played games such as 3D tic-tac-toe and moon landing. So the moon landing was fake. Knew it was staged.
Now it all makes sense.
Fucking flat earthers were right. Fucking knuckleheads.
Ice wall. Jesus Christ. What are you talking about?
These games were played on computers such as the IBM 1560, and moves were made by means of punch cards. Video gaming did not reach mainstream popularity until the 1970s and the 1980s, when video arcade games and gaming consoles using joysticks, buttons, and other controllers, along with graphics on computer screens and home computers, were introduced, or home computer games were introduced to the general public. Since the 1980s, video gaming has become a popular form of entertainment and part of modern popular culture in most parts of the world.
Well, that's pretty fucking cool, man. I mean, I remember, again, Atari being a generation well before us, not seeing anything like that, used to the Nintendo controller, the straight rectangle, and then eventually the Sega Genesis controller, but like nothing with a joystick. Do you remember how you felt the first time you saw the concept for the Nintendo 64 controller?
Felt a little like, what the fuck?
Exactly. If you don't know, the classic Nintendo 64 controller, D-pad on the left side, traditional buttons on the right, with what looked like another D-pad but was just more buttons, but smack dab in the center of that son of a bitch was that fucking joystick, that oh so beautiful joystick, and it was just like, dude, dad. Dude, seriously, man, if I don't have this, man, I'm gonna get murdered at school. Like, these kids are fucking savages. They will kill me.
That's honestly, I felt that way when Tony Hawk's Pro Skater came out, and you guys got it, and then I remember going to my mom's house, and I was like, I have to have this game.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, you don't
boys got
understand.
it.
You don't understand. Like, if I don't have this game, I'm gonna get murdered at school. They're gonna talk about it, and I'm not gonna be able to say anything.
I'm
and
not
they're
gonna be able to
like,
sit the fucking
"So
lunch
go
table
for it."
anymore.
Yeah, exactly, right? I'm just gonna sit in the bathroom,
Yeah.
eat my lunch in the bathroom.
Right?
Oh man. So one of the early games was Space War, which was developed by computer scientists. Fucking nerds. Thank you, you beautiful bastards. Early arcade video games developed from 1972 to 1978. During the 1970s, the first generation of home consoles emerged, including the popular game Pong and various clones. How fucking crazy was that, dude, when Pong first hit the market? And just like, again, how many hours have we sit and play that Warzone game just in the last like week? Imagine how many kids just aimlessly just sitting right in front of the screen, like fucking right in front of the screen, dude, just boop. Boop. Oh, almost had you. Like, that's crazy. Exactly. The 1970s was also the era of mainframe computer games. The golden age of arcade video games was from 1978 to 1982. Video arcades with large graphics decorated coin-operated machines were common at malls, and popular affordable home consoles such as the Atari 2600 and Intellivision enabled people to play games on their home TVs. So that's again the second generation for sure. During the 1980s, gaming computers, early online gaming, and handheld LCD games emerged. This area was affected by the video game crash in 1983, which we will dive into briefly in a little bit. From 1976 to 1992, the second generation of video consoles emerged.
Yeah, you know, it's all cool and all, but you know what the best computer game is of all time?
Doom.
Oregon Trail. And now after everything that's going on, it made me think that when the new one comes out, they're going to say like, oh, Mike, you died from coronavirus.
Yeah, right.
I'm
Oh,
like,
God,
oh,
that's
man.
so horrible.
But I won't say it.
Yeah. Oh, hi, lover.
Oh,
Guest
she's
appearance
decent.
by Miss Emily Engel. How was your bath, madam? Good. Yes, good.
Yeah, I need to rehydrate.
That thing is a fucking dream. It's like this little suction cup that like raises the water level because it goes over like the emergency drain and it has a hole on top, so it adds like 2 extra inches.
Do you want to tell him why you bought that specifically?
Because Garrett's shorts 2 extra inches?
Tell me why.
No, I was gonna say you should tell him why.
Oh, because in a regular bathtub, your tits and knees can't be in the water.
What?
Cause like
My tits and knees in the water all the time.
Nah.
Same time.
Nah, no way.
Because
No way.
it's not long enough for me to have my legs straight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like my knees have to be bent, and if I slide down, it's either tits or knees.
Oh.
Like-
You gotta like butterfly. You gotta sit like crisscross applesauce.
No, that's even worse.
That's so funny.
Is that cool?
That's
That
so
is
funny.
weird.
All right. We're recording. That's going in the episode too, by the way.
You asked for the guest appearance.
Yeah,
She gave
yeah.
it to you.
So we just left off on the second gen. Mike, why don't you lead us into the third gen?
Sure thing, Garrett. The third generation of consoles, which were 8-bit units, emerged from 1983 to 1995. The fourth generation of consoles, which were 16-bit models, emerged from 1987, which was a great year,
Golden year.
to 1999.
That's when legends were born.
Mm-hmm. And Kings are born in August. Yeah,
Goddamn
see?
right. Yeah.
Double whammy right there.
Hey.
So the 1990s saw the resurgence and decline of arcades. The transition to 3D video games improved handheld games and PC gaming. The fifth generation of consoles, which were 32 and 64-bit units, was from 1993 to 2006. During this era, mobile phone gaming emerged. During the 2000s, the sixth generation of consoles emerged in 1998 to 2013. During this period, online gaming and mobile games became major aspects of gaming culture. The seventh generation of consoles, was from 2005 to 2012. This era was marked by huge development budgets for some games, with some having cinematic graphics, the launch of the top-selling Wii console, in which the user could control the game actions with real-life movement of the controller, the rise of casual PC games marketed to non-gamers, and the emergence of cloud computing in video games.
That's pretty crazy, man. Obviously, just the actual, like, what's the word? Evolution of how games have gone over the last 50, well, now 70 years. Jesus Christ, H. It's so exponential, and it's just obviously it's just gonna get so much more gnarlier because like nowadays we haven't even touched on the shit that we have nowadays, but like VR.
Yeah.
Enough said.
Yeah, dude, they got VR porn.
I get that. I'd never understood. I would never do that. Just because
Try it
that's.
Try it out.
I don't know about that. Hey, sweetheart, can you close that door, please? Thank you. Sorry for the broadcast interruption.
Mm-hmm.
No, Gertie, you can stay in there. Go on. Gertie, go on. Thank you, baby. Thank you. We're almost done. Following up, in 2013, the 8th generation of consoles emerged, okay, including Nintendo's Wii U and Nintendo 3DS, Microsoft's Xbox One, what up, and Sony's PlayStation 4
Yo.
and PlayStation Vita. PC
Gay?
gaming PC gaming has been holding a large market share in Asia and Europe for decades and continues to grow due to digital distribution. That is one thing that is it's not making a resurgence. It's been around for fucking ever. But that PC gaming, dude, I never understood how to play with a mouse and stuff like that. Like I know Anthony and Seabass, like, and Harley, they're all playing Warzone with a fucking keyboard. Seabass has a controller. He has a controller that's linked up with his computer. But Anthony is traditional. He plays it on the fucking keyboard, and it's just like, dude, I
think he's been playing since like Counter-Strike days. Like I remember.
No, not. Well, maybe because I know his older brother is really big into computer gaming.
Yeah.
So sure, yeah, I'm sure he was playing back then. Yeah. Since the development and widespread consumer use of smartphones, mobile gaming has been a driving factor for games as they can reach people formerly uninterested in gaming and those unable to afford or support dedicated hardware such as video game consoles. Yeah, for sure. With the amount of smartphones, hey man, welcome to the podcast world.
Yeah.
In the world of smartphones nowadays, it's not hard to get really good games. That's what's fucked up. You can get games that were like $60 on the PlayStation 2 when they first came out back in the day. You can get them on your phone for free now. I got San Andreas. I downloaded San Andreas on my phone. And it's the same fucking graphics. It's the same game. The same fucking game. That's wild. That's fucking wild to me. But I mean, it's cool though because again, it does interest people who weren't formerly interested in video games before. But like all those fucking Candy Crush cocksuckers, man. Like I swear to Christ, dude, those games are so fucking superfluous. Like if you're gonna take the time to play a fucking game, play a fucking game. And like download something.
Play fucking Skyrim. You got time. You got time to play some Skyrim.
Oh Jesus! Don't get me started on that.
Dude, don't
bullshit.
get me started, bro.
So like, as far as our own, gaming histories, what was your first real gaming system?
The original Nintendo.
The NES, the first one.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then, we had Duck Hunter, Mario.
Mm-hmm.
Those were the games.
Sweet ass pistol.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those were the games that we played like all the time.
Yeah.
And there was we played Zelda.
Naturally.
We played.
Did you play it on the Nintendo or on Game Boy?
Nintendo.
Yeah. Good. Okay.
Yeah, I don't really recall playing Zelda on the Game Boy ever, but like we've had the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, the Sega Genesis, PlayStation 1, 2, 3, and 4, Xbox 360, the Wii, the Wii U, the Switch, and currently we have the PlayStation 4 and the Switch, and then the 2DS. We're thinking about getting an Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because then
What's
I play. I mean, either way, it doesn't matter. I can get into it, but yeah, I mean, we've had 3DSs, we've had fucking all of everything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, my favorite's always been the PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I was really at that age to
Really understand video games.
and appreciate what I was doing.
Absolutely. Yeah, I completely agree with that one. Because, yeah, I mean, I started with the Super Nintendo, or not the Super Nintendo, but the regular Nintendo. And then I did eventually get the SNES. And then I went to the Sega Genesis. And then I rocked the Sega for a while.
Yep.
For a while.
Mortal Kombat.
Yep. Fucking
Sega.
Killer Instinct. Fucking fucking what's the other one? Virtua Fighter, hell yeah. Yeah, it's something else. It really is something else. Where's I going? Sega? Nintendo 64. And then I rocked the 64 for a fucking hot minute. And then finally my mom got me a PlayStation, the first PlayStation. I was like Got rid of that fucking Nintendo 64 controller.
Fuck that
Because guess
stupid
what?
controller.
This motherfucker has 2 joysticks
right.
on it. Like, this fucking piece of shit away from me.
Fucking old school, bull.
This
Get out of here.
goddamn relic of the past.
Right.
Get it away from me. So yeah, the original PlayStation came out, and that was that was a wrap. Because like you said, Tony Hawk Pro Skater came out.
Yeah,
and it was just
dude.
like, dude, fucking forget about it.
Did you find the hidden tapes?
Oh my
course,
god,
dude.
dude! Of course we did. You play skate? Yeah,
Yeah, duh.
bro. We got it done. All right, we're just free skating now. Okay, like we got that shit done in the first week. Like, where have you been?
I just got it though.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so did I last week when it came out. Like everybody else, where the fuck have you been? All right, so, but yeah, no. Anyways, PlayStation 2, and then I made the switch from PlayStation 2 to Xbox, and then I've just been Xbox ever since. So at the end of 1983, several factors, including a market flooded with poor quality games. Let me see. Actually, hang on. Let me check my notes here real quick. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, this is the crash, the video game crash that I was talking about. So at the end of 1983, several factors, including a market flooded with poor quality games, the commercial failure of several important Atari 2600 titles, and home computers emerging as a new and more advanced gaming platform, caused the industry to experience a severe downturn. This was the crash of the video game industry. It bankrupted several companies that produced North American consoles and games from late 1983 to early 1984. It ended what is considered to be the second generation of console video gaming. So again, queuing back, Atari 2600 to Intellivision, and what was the other one? I can't remember. But yeah, it was around those consoles when this crash came. So what happened there?
Well, as a result of the crash, a globally important video gaming industry emerged in Japan. PlayStation,
Makes sense.
Nintendo, creating important room for companies like Nintendo and Sega. This brought about the worldwide popularity of the third generation Nintendo Entertainment System, for
Hell
which
yeah.
third-party game publishing was strictly overseen by Nintendo. Which that makes me remember too that we also had GameCube.
Oh yeah,
fucking-
Super Smash Brothers, dude, on a
The
GameCube.
goofy ass little cube, man. Like, what the fuck is
Yeah, whatever,
this?
but we gotta have it.
I remember my sister Jessica won one for I think it was 1021. It was autographed by Fall Out Boy. She might still have it. I don't know.
Fucking peeling plenty potatoes of that.
That's oh man, that's a good old dad joke right there. All right, so the 90s were a decade of marked innovation by video gaming. It was a decade of transition from raster graphics to 3D graphics and gave rise to several genres of video games, including first-person shooter, real-time strategy, and MMO. Handheld gaming began to become more popular throughout the decade, thanks in part to the release of the Game Boy in 1989. Arcade games experienced a resurgence in the early to mid-1990s, followed by a decline in the late 1990s as the home consoles became more common.
Okay. Okay, so as arcade games declined, however, the home video game industry matured into a more mainstream form of entertainment in the 1990s. But their video games also became more and more controversial because of their violent nature, especially in games of Mortal Kombat, Night Trap, and Doom, leading to the formation of the Interactive Digital Software Association and their rating games by assigning them their ESRB rating since 1994. Again, kind of drag, but at the same time there has to be some sort of censorship to certain games because I mean obviously these are games aimed mostly for children. Major developments of the 1990s include the popularizing of 3D computer. Jesus Christ, Garrett.
Unique New York.
How now, brown cow.
There you go.
Okay. Major developments of the 1990s include the popularizing of 3D computer graphics using polygons, initially in arcades, followed by home consoles and computers, and the start of a larger consolidation of publishers, higher budget games, increased size of production teams, and collaborations with both the music and motion picture industries. Examples of this include Mark Hamill's involvement with Wing Commander 3, the introduction of Q-Sound with arcade system boards such as Capcom's CP System 2, and the high production budgets of titles such as Squaresoft's Final Fantasy VII and Sega's Shenmue. I never really got into Final Fantasy that great or that big. I know that you're fucking balls deep in that game.
Yeah, it's a really good game. I mean, like you said before, cutscenes, the graphics for the time were pretty good, but every time they come out with a new Final Fantasy, the graphics are just a little bit better. Yeah,
a little bit
sharper.
cleaner.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's a really good franchise.
Mm-hmm. Now, obviously, online gaming that has become a huge cornerstone of video game playing nowadays. How did that really come about, man?
Well, as the affordable broadband internet connectivity spread, many publishers turned to online gaming as a way of innovating. Massively multiplayer online role-playing games, MMORPGs, featured significant titles for the PC market like RuneScape, World of Warcraft, EverQuest, and Ultima Online. And honestly, I've only played RuneScape for a little bit. I've tried World of Warcraft.
I've never played any of those games.
I've never played EverQuest or Ultima Online.
Leroy Jenkins. That's the funniest shit that's ever come out of World of Warcraft. That's the only. I mean, that's what I know World of Warcraft for is that fucking
so you
video.
Played it then? Huh?
No, I've just seen that one video, dude, and it's the funniest shit ever. I'll put that on the fucking Facebook page because
the best thing
I've never seen that. That is so funny.
Is the South Park episode where they make fun of it?
Oh yeah, and they all get fat.
Yeah, that's the best. Yeah.
It's gonna be Anthony.
Yeah, it is. Fucker. Historically, console-based MMORPGs have been few in a number due to the lack of bundled internet connectivity options for the platforms. This made it hard to establish a large enough subscription community to justify the development costs. The first significant console MMORPGs were Phantasy Star Online and the Sega Dreamcast, which had a built-in modem and aftermarket Ethernet adapter, followed by Final Fantasy XI for the Sony PlayStation 2. An aftermarket Ethernet adapter was shipped to support that game, which is really weird to me because you don't really hear about that kind of thing happening with games. Like, we're going to send you the thing you need to connect to the internet so you can play.
Yeah, if you want to play it to its full capacity.
Yeah, now it's just like, no, nigga, you're paying full price.
Big words all of a sudden.
There was an A. There was no hard R.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, see?
Every major platform release since the Dreamcast has either been bundled with the ability to support an internet connection or has had the option available as an aftermarket add-on. Microsoft's Xbox also had its own online gaming service called Xbox Live. What the fuck is up? Xbox Live was a huge success and proved to be a driving force for the Xbox with games like Halo 2 that were highly popular. They really were, man. I remember when just the first Halo came out. Truth be told, I never really got into those games that big, but I did play them, and I know for sure that the first Halo was trash because then when Halo 2 came out, it was just like, and everybody was fucking jerking off over that game. So yeah. Ooh, excuse me. The history of video games, I feel, could go on and on and on and on, but I feel like we've already kind of gone on too long. We haven't even touched really on mobile gaming, PC gaming, the handhelds, etc. there's a whole lot more. There's a whole lot more you can go into as far as regarding those aspects of video games. But I mean, what can we say? Video games, they've become something else, and I personally feel like we're just scratching the surface of things, man. Like I said, those VR games are pretty gnarly. Radish had that space moon landing VR. He had the flight simulator. He had the Batman VR. He had this really cool like zombie clown killing like roller coaster one where like you're on a roller coaster and you got the fucking nunchucks and you're just shooting fucking zombies and shit like that. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm really excited to see. I wonder how long it's gonna take before we're in the Matrix, like for real. You know what I'm saying? Like we
are in the Matrix. This is the Matrix.
But,
we live in the Matrix.
Oh, Jesus, Murphy. You know what I'm saying though? Like you see like the old school. Remember in Hackers? You remember when fucking the Plague's playing that game? He's got that thing on his head. Like that sort of shit, man. Like it's gonna get to a point soon where we're gonna be able to put on like a helmet and just like lay down, and it's gonna like transport our fucking consciousness into this fucking format of the game, and then,
Like Avatar.
Yeah, exactly like Avatar and the Matrix. So I did put together a little rapid fire section here for you, bud. So I'm just gonna name off 2 games. You give me the first choice, and let's see if you can answer correctly. You ready?
Okay.
Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat?
Mortal Kombat.
Okay. Donkey Kong or Super Mario?
Super Mario.
GoldenEye or Perfect Dark?
GoldenEye.
Doom or Duke Nukem?
Doom.
Legend of Zelda or Final Fantasy?
Final Fantasy.
Tekken or Soul Calibur?
Tekken.
Gran Turismo or Forza?
Gran Turismo.
Oblivion or Skyrim?
Skyrim.
Oh, WCW NWO Revenge or WWF Warzone?
Warzone.
Mario Kart or Mario Party?
Kart.
Pilot Wing 64 or Wave Race 64?
Pilot.
Fat dudes or skinny dudes?
Depends on the situation, I guess.
I had to try. So you pick Mortal Kombat. What'd you say? Super Mario?
Yeah.
GoldenEye, Doom, Final Fantasy, Tekken, Gran Turismo, Skyrim, Warzone, Mario Kart. What'd you say? Pilot Wings or Wave Race?
Yeah, Pilot.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's exactly how. I mean, I put the questions together, but I was just thinking of like the questions that I would think of, or like, well, that I would want to get asked for sure. And there's a couple of them in here that are like, oh, that's close, dude. Like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. Like, obviously, Mortal Kombat's gonna win that fight just because of the fatalities. It just got so much more graphic.
Yeah,
that immediately
and I played
was just like,
a lot
yes.
more Mortal Kombat than I ever did of Street Fighter.
Really?
Yeah, I've always just I don't know. Mortal Kombat was one of the first games I played on Sega.
Yeah. Yeah.
That and Sonic.
Yeah. And I mean, Super Mario and Donkey Kong, like, technically Donkey Kong is the first Super Mario because Mario is the protagonist and that he saves the princess from a fucking barrel chucking monkey and just climbing up ladders and shit. But yeah, Super Mario, that's a given. That's a fucking given. GoldenEye also given, but with Perfect Dark, I played my fair share of Perfect Dark for sure, but
I played a little bit, but I mean, I still didn't even play GoldenEye like crazy, like in depth. Like I played the multiplayer, you know, maybe 20 times or something like that.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
But just GoldenEye has it's a bit larger following. Like people would like,
yeah.
you should remake that, like
fuck yeah,
right now,
absolutely,
re-release a 64 kind of thing,
God,
like
dude. No, that wouldn't work.
Oh, sure it would.
No. I bet you'd be more successful like making it like Warzone. If they made it like that and then
make
release
it GoldenEye like Warzone.
Well, no. I'm just saying. Yeah. Yeah. Did you have to poop or something? I feel like not necessarily making it like Warzone, like that format where it's like the big open world and you're you know, got 150 people on the map. I'm just saying like put with those graphics, just redo the game like it would be on the Nintendo 64, but redo it and then just release it on Xbox One and just do it as a standalone RPG.
Yeah, you need to get Nintendo to release that Microsoft.
That's what I'm saying. That's the troublesome part. That's why it hasn't happened still because fucking Nintendo's like, Go fuck yourself.
Suck this dick.
Right, exactly. No thanks. Hard pass.
But I don't know. Actually, there's some Nintendo games you can get on the PlayStation and I think Xbox too.
Yeah, I'm sure some of the fucking old school 8-bits. But
No, some of the decent ones. I want to say.
I mean, I'm often wrong, so you take that with a grain of salt.
I mean, I could be wrong too.
Yeah, but
Yeah, so.
there was one I forgot. Fuck. I didn't type it up in here, but there was another one that I wanted to ask you. I'm not gonna remember now. That sucks. Fuck. But then, I mean, obviously there was a couple in here that I already knew what you were gonna answer. I was surprised that you said Skyrim over Oblivion. Truth be told, because I remember you played the shit out of Oblivion.
Yeah.
The Elder Scrolls, man.
Yeah, Skyrim. It's the newer one, so I mean,
better, yeah.
yeah. So when they come out with like a real new one, that they're not gonna.
It's
They're
like
gonna
the
wait till the
difference.
PlayStation 5 comes out.
It's
before
like
they
the
put out a
difference
new one.
between the first Red Dead Redemption and the second one.
Yeah,
I remember playing the first Red Dead Redemption on like the original Xbox,
Mm-hmm.
like way back in the day, and then the second one came out like fucking Grand Theft Auto, and it was like, what the fuck? And everybody was going fucking bananas for it.
Yeah,
Fucking bananas. God, I don't know. Maybe I'll get that game. But yeah, Pilot Wings, I remember spending a lot of time with Pilot Wings. I wish they'd remake that game. That game was fun. I thought that
they
game
might.
was fun.
they might have actually done it. It's just not a very popular title, so it's not like you really see it.
Yeah, it's for all the OGs, man. Yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got for now. I think there is another part to this podcast because again, we didn't really touch on the mobile gaming too much or the PC gaming and the handhelds. Because again, the handhelds going all the way back to the brick style Game Boy. I mean,
Yeah.
shit, you weren't fucking cool unless you had one of them
Paperboy.
shits. Psh, forget about it, kid.
Home Alone. I remember playing Home Alone all the time in that game on the Game Boy.
See, that's where I played Street Fighter a lot.
Oh, okay.
I was playing on my Game Boy. I'd play a lot of Street Fighter. Which I miss. I do miss those. Just like, God damn. Just be a kid again. Just like no responsibilities, like no real like worries. You just like, dude, what I'm worried about is whether or not I'm gonna beat this fucking game before my batteries die in this bitch. Okay, which I know it's a coming because it's starting to fade.
Yeah, you start seeing a little red light. Just like,
yeah. Just slowly get
Slowly.
brighter and brighter, and then all of a sudden, boom. Yep. You got anything else you want to add on, my friend?
No, man. No, it just made me not want to go to work and just go home and play my game.
I know, guys, because I'm going to totally play video games as soon as I'm done tearing this shit down. If you guys want to play Warzone, I'm the Dank Mob 86.
Dank Knob, yeah.
Dank Knob. Yeah. Dank Mob 8687 on Xbox.
Yeah, and I'm
Hit me up.
Mr. Segovia 1987.
Oh, that's original.
Yeah. All right.
Soon to be
fucking first one, right?
Segovia Screwdriver.
Yeah, you actually get one free one because like you get to change your name once.
For free?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, do it.
So I should.
Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Segovia.
No, I changed it to Milkman.
There you go.
Someone's
Yeah.
already got that for sure. It'll probably be a Segovia Screwdriver, but until then, it's
Master
Mr. Segovia.
Milker, dude.
Until I change it, it's still Mr. Segovia
Yeah.
1987.
Either way, nobody's gonna play with you anyways.
I know. No one plays with me now.
Facebook.com/dippingmilkandcookies.
Pretty sure Anthony kicked me out of the group already today. At least that's what I got from reading those fucking
Dude,
gifts.
oh my god, dude, that was the best. That was the best thing to wake up to today. Holy shit. That whole exchange, I got Emily laughing. I'm like telling her to read it too. She's like, you guys are losers. Me, Anthony, our buddy Anthony, our good buddy Anthony, and Mike here this morning. We've been playing this game, Call of Duty Warzone, for like the last week, just like hardcore. And it's been us three. And last night Mike was supposed to pop back on. Me and Anthony pop on, and he's not there. And we find out he'd just fallen asleep, fucking drunk and full. And then this morning, it was like a 15-minute just gift battle between me and Anthony against Mike, and it was fucking hilarious. It was well done. It was really well played. Anywho, facebook.com/Dipping Milk and Cookies. You can find us on Podbean, Spotify, iTunes.
Flick the bean.
Yep, absolutely. Make sure you guys are liking and sharing and rating and reviewing. Really big on iTunes for all of our Apple users. Please leave a review. Leave a review. You don't have to say anything, like I said before, even if it's just a 5-star review. A 5-star review, you know what I'm talking about.
You do 6-star. That's cool.
Don't get cheap on us. It really does. Oh, Jesus, Murphy. It really does mean a lot, and it does help the podcast quite a bit. So, again, please like, share, rate, and review wherever you listen to your podcasts. I wish I had some updates with the band, but unfortunately, right now I do not. If anything,
You can actually go to GoFundMe and donate
there you
to the album process.
there you go. Thank you. I forgot about that. We did start a GoFundMe page for the band for the new album because obviously we had some shows, 4 shows lined up leading up to our recording at the end of April, which now has been pushed back to August. But that money from those shows was going to go towards the album. Obviously, we're not playing those, so it's a long shot. We can understand why people wouldn't want to donate to that kind of cause, but we're most definitely a business enterprise, and we've put a lot of time and money and effort into the band, and obviously everybody is feeling the effects of this fucking shit right now. So if you wouldn't mind, even if you don't donate any funds, just donate a share. That would be really huge. So yeah, GoFundMe.com, search Reflection of Flesh, the page will pop right up. Other than that, everybody be good. Again, stay safe, stay inside, keep your hands washed, your asshole clean. Yeah, that's all I got, bud. So until next time. Oh, what?
I got something.
There we go.
So, what do a lesbian and a coffee shops have in common?
Something with beans.
Yeah, they like the grind beans.
We're gonna get so fucking yelled at for that.
By who? Nobody says anything to us
I was
anyway.
gonna say, nobody listens anyways. It's fine. No, I'm just kidding. We're actually almost to 1,000 downloads on Podbean. I just noticed that today, so that's pretty fucking cool. So keep up the good work, everybody. Keep up the good work, dippers. All our milkers. You guys are the fucking best. We love you guys. Everybody be good. Stay happy. Stay healthy. Until next time. Bye.
See ya.
Produced by the Dankman.